I wake up to the same old fight, chasing shadows in the night. Promises made, but I let them fade. Caught in the cycle, I'm feeling betrayed. Round and round, I'm losing ground. Trying to break free, but I can't see. These negative patterns are haunting me. Nights turn to days, I'm losing my way. Thought I found peace, but it's led me astray. Chasing the high, but it only brings pain. The more I run, the less I gain.
Hey everybody, hey, and welcome to another session of Tarka Said Again. And we are definitely continuing on with this award-winning book, Addictive Patterns. And today we are going to discuss why people struggle with love in relationships. Now, that's a lot to unpack. I consider it to be stacked and packed. Make me think about the song 702. I don't really want to go. I don't really want to stay. All I need to know is, can we get it together? Get it together. Now, people often struggle with love and relationships because they're trying to connect deeply while carrying personal histories. We call it baggage. They're also carrying their needs. We call that those mama and daddy issues. And also they carry fears that don't always align. And last week we talked about that alignment, making sure your partner align with what you have going on, your likes, your dislikes, your values, your morals. That's a major part. I did a little research and dug up some additional reasons because my book covers some of these reasons of different issues and reasons behind failed relationships. And one of the things could be unhealed wounds. We talk about the past, those past experiences. We call those traumas, whether they happen when you were young or are currently happening. But that's a reason why people struggle in their relationship, something that they may be dealing with. And sometimes it come off a little different, where it may be them, but they're pointing the finger or putting the blame elsewhere. Or maybe they are accepting that it's them, but somehow they're unable to get on the same page with their partner. They find ways to attach themselves early. And these are just additional examples, right? Early attachment, maybe past breakups or heartbreak, betrayal. And we know when you feel betrayed, that can shape your next relationship, right? How you give and you receive love. And that again takes me back to this book and how I talk about relationships. Yeah, it could be romantic, but it also could be your childhood relationships, where I talk about the lack of relationship, the development, or how your relationship was established as a child. If trust was broken before, that can make you very cynical. You put your guard up and you might even expect abandonment, even though it's not even happening, but you just assume and automatically expect it's going to happen because what? It has happened before. A second reason of why people struggle in relationships: fear of vulnerability. That still kind of takes us back to not trusting. But we know love requires emotional exposure. You should be able to talk to your partner, be that confidant for that person. You have to be able to open up, share your feelings. Sometimes people, we want that closeness, but at the same time, we fear rejection or loss. And this could create what they call like the push-pull dynamic, whereas you crave intimacy, but at the same time, you're resisting it You're not accepting it. Another reason why people struggle with relationships or love. Now, addictive patterns, yes, addictive or unhealthy patterns. Some are drawn to familiar. What is familiar? We've heard that before. We might have even been what we consider maybe a victim of that, to where we just keep going back. We keep spinning the block, keep going back to the person. They mess up, you forgive them, go back. They mess up, you forgive them, go back. We just keep being drawn to what's familiar, what's comfortable, but is unhealthy. Another example could be you chasing an unavailable partner, whatever that looks like. Unavailable could be that he or she is married, or unavailable is they're just unavailable to you. They have other things going on. Doesn't automatically mean they're in a relationship, but just unavailable to you. Maybe you don't spark their interest. So you could be used to drama, just arguing because it feels known. You're familiar with it. Maybe you was raised like that. You heard that in the household, the back and forth. So maybe you were taught that he or she doesn't love you unless they argue, unless they check you, unless they trying to control you, even if it's painful. So familiarity can feel safer than healthy. Let me say that again. Familiarity can feel safer than healthy. A fourth reason of why people struggle with relationships, those communication gaps. People assume their partner should know their needs or their struggle. Now, this will hear too much for me. I've experienced this before. I'm not a mind reader. I'm not a psychic, but that's an actual thing. Whereas your partner may struggle expressing their feelings. So they put the blame on you for this defensiveness. I call it decoys. That's what I call it. It's a decoy to get it off of you. A fifth reason why people struggle with love or relationships, unrealistic expectations. Oh my gosh. You've heard people talk about this before, where you want to put these unrealistic expectations on others, but you can't fit your own or stand up to your own expectation. A real quick example of that could be finances. That's a big one. Female, male may expect the counterpart to make a certain amount of money and they can't even match it. They don't even make that amount, but you put that expectation on your partner. Another one, self-worth and identity issues, vitally important. If someone doesn't feel worthy of love, they may sabotage closeness. And last week we talked about how one might sabotage the relationship. They may accept less than they deserve. Other words, I like to call it settling, or depend on a partner for validation. Examples like simply letting your partner put you down so much, the name calling, saying what you can do and what you can't do, maybe calling you sorry, to where you start to believe those things about yourself. Now, all of those various reasons of why people struggle with love and the different type relationships that they are in. On the flip side, because I always talk about addictive patterns, I'm going to give you the negative as well as the positive. If you find yourself guilty of any of these things, whether it was the past or it's present, it doesn't mean that you're bad at relationships. It could just simply be a sign of human complexity, something that you need to work on. Healthy love tends to grow when people develop self-awareness. Now, that's simply just becoming conscious of your actions. In other words, identifying, okay, this is an area I need to work on. Not only becoming conscious of your actions, but emotional regulation. This is a major. Let me say it again. Major. Because our emotions can get us in trouble, locked up, lose our freedom, lost of a life. So we don't want to be found having temper tantrums. We want to be able to, as they say, have impulse control. Yes, emotional regulation, being honest, having honest communication, and the courage to choose differently, no matter what that looks like. Choosing differently than your past patterns. Not only your past patterns, past behaviors, past actions, hell, past relationships. If that's what it takes, you have to simply be willing to break old patterns. That's it. Hopefully, you've gotten a takeaway from today's session of Tarka Say It Again. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on iHeartRadio, YouTube, and Spotify. Have a good one.